Hey everyone, and welcome to the May 2021 product release webinar. My name's Peter. I'm the product manager here at Eagle Software, and joining me today is Luke, our CEO. Welcome, Luke.
Hey, Peter.
How's it going?
Good.
That's good. And today, as we do every quarter, we're going to do a run through of all the latest features that we've released over the quarter in Eagle, do a bit of a deep dive and show you through it, and have a bit of a chat about them all and how you can use these features. So
it's been an exciting product quarter. We've achieved a
yeah.
lot during the quarter, and there's a lot of exciting things happening. So let's jump in.
Cool. So first one up, we're going to have a look at some buyer table improvements. So as you can see, we've done a few things here. We've put some advanced filters on, we've added some more information columns, and we've also added a notes section. So we're going to just jump over to the software and have a bit of a look at how that works. So as you can see, we have all these columns here now. So we've filled this out just to make this really easy to kind of see and filter your buyers and who you need to be talking to. We've got the notes drop down. So here you can see any notes that you've added, and all of these notes as well are flowing through to the interactive owner portal as well. So, and actually one of the things that we're going to be doing is giving the ability to edit notes on this page too. So you'll be able to kind of tweak and customize all your notes that are going onto the owner report as well.
Yeah, so the idea being that this is just one central location. You can manage all your buyers for a property without having to click into them and then make your calls and add your tasks and your notes and that sort of stuff. Just do it all from here. Update the key information about the buyer and their interest in that property and whether they need contracts or whatever it is. And we've had a lot of great feedback about this buyer table. And I think, as you mentioned before, Pete, there's obviously a lot of other improvements or more improvements coming to the buyer table here as well that are really exciting.
Yeah, so one of those is sorting. So once you've all of these columns, or all the columns that you can sort, will be able to be sorted. So that'll again help just with when you're shortlisting your buyers and whatnot, to sort them and display them in a way that is useful for following up or for putting notes or whatever it is that you're doing.
And a quick thing to mention on this screen as well is the filtering, so that you've got the same advanced filters that we have everywhere else in the software. You can filter on this screen as well.
All right, so next we're going to take a look at the Eagle Caller ID app that we've released. So this is really exciting. This is something that we've had planned for some time. And essentially what this is it's an app that you install on your phone. It's separate to the CRM app, but what it does is it allows you to get that incoming caller ID when people in your database are calling you. It will show a notification, as you can see on the screenshot here, and you're going to see some information about that contact, their name, their photo, contact groups, if there's a spouse linked with them in the CRM. And you're going to get the information about any ownerships, tenancies, or if they've inquired on a property or if they've inspected or placed an offer. So you're going to get all that information up front when people are calling. So
it's pretty cool, because that buyer you sold a house to 3 years ago, they call you and it'll come up on your phone and you can say, "Hi, Bob," and it's pretty powerful, and you'll know exactly what place they bought as well. And so it's pretty powerful.
Absolutely. So it's not just incoming calls as well. So this is for the Android version. You can also do outgoing calls. So when you place a call, so say you miss a call and maybe you are calling them back, then it will show that notification as well. So you can see, who you're calling. You can tap through and view that contact in the Eagle CRM app too. And then there's a toggle for prompting to log calls as well. So what this will do is, after a call ends with someone that you've got in your database, it'll prompt you to log a note in the CRM app. And that way you've captured all your phone calls in there. So it's out for Android now. It is coming soon to iOS. And that'll be coming in the future. We'll have an announcement for that. So the next feature we're taking a look at is contact segments. So this is another highly anticipated feature. Essentially what contact segments are a dynamic list of contacts. So you set the filter criteria using the advanced filters, and it will return you a list that changes over time as activity with that contact changes. So we'll jump over and have a look, and I'll bring up an example here.
Yeah, so this is building on a lot of the work we've done over the last 6 months with regards to filters, and this filter composer, which obviously gives you the ability to really drill down and see which contacts are doing what. And you can do things like generate a list of contacts that you've done an appraisal where their interest level is hot. So these are people ready to list. And you want to get a list of all of the ones where you last contacted them more than 7 days ago. So that's what Peter's done here now, is generated this list. From here, you can obviously do all your bulk action stuff that you would normally do, but you can also save this segment as well so that you can create this as a list that you work on a daily basis or on whatever basis. And by saving that segment, it now shows up on the right-hand side. So anytime you come to the contact screen, you can just click that button on the right-hand side and it'll instantly load that segment and how you've defined it. So this is great for catching people that are slipping away, or using, activity filters, like seeing people that haven't clicked emails or that have clicked emails in the last 7 days and or visited your website in the last 7 days, or just things like that. This is a great way to generate prospecting lists.
Yeah, absolutely. So as Luke said, like anything you can filter, you can create segments on. So the the sky's the limit. There's a lot you can do with it. And we have some exciting stuff coming with contact segments that we'll touch on later with how they will work with other parts of the system. So yeah, that's a really good one and really well received so far, which has been really good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's jump back over to the slides and advanced filters on applications. So this is in the leasing section under applications. So this is our application manager. And basically we've added all our advanced filters to this application section. So this just allows you to drill down into the application. So you can go by status. You can, if you need to work through all the ones that have been submitted, or maybe ones that are with you to review, you can filter down that way, and just makes it easier to work your list of applications. You can also search for applications based on the contact. So if you're looking for a particular applicant or even a particular landlord, you can do that here as well to find applications for a particular landlord, for example. So yeah, a simple one, but that's, having the advanced filters there is really helpful there. So then we have ownerships and tenancies. So the last quarter, what we did is we added some new fields to ownerships. So you've got start and end dates now, and there's also ownership types. And so these ownership types sit on the ownership, and then we can filter these as well, so that for prospecting purposes, if you're on your addresses list and you want to just send a letter to owner occupiers or a letter to absentee owners, given that the communication, the wording is going to be a little bit different, this allows you to do that essentially. The other thing,
just drilling down and putting more information about the owners and making it easily accessible.
Yep. And the other thing you can see here is this screenshot is just of the contact sidebar. We have the ownership widget here. And so all this information now shows on there too. All right, so next we are looking at contact sidebar widgets. So just a quick one. As you guys are probably aware, we've been rolling out new widgets on the contact sidebar, and we've now completed doing all the new widgets. So there's a few new widgets here. There's also some previous widgets that have had a touch up. And so now all the contact widgets are now done. So really happy to have that released.
Yeah, one big one that's probably worth a mention is the automation widget, because we've put a little bit more information there. You can see the different automations and where they're up to, how far the automation progressed before it might have been stopped by some conditional logic, and whether it's running or whether it's in the past. And you can also stop automations from here as well. So just giving a little bit more visibility for the automations as well.
Yeah, one other thing there is we added a load more feature, because obviously over a period of time, a lot of automations end up running on a contact. And yeah, so this will just preview the most recent ones, and then you can view more by clicking load more, which helps save some space on the sidebar. All right, so the next thing is activity feed updates. We have just released the new activity feed onto the listing screen, and we've also added some new items there as well. So we will jump into there. So we've added a toggle on, at the time of recording, there's a toggle there. It won't be there forever, but we have the option to switch between the classic view and the modern view, we're calling it. And so this is the modern view. And as you'll see pretty quickly, it looks very similar to the contact activity feed. And so what this does is it just shows all the important information on the listing. So on the old feed, for example, there were some things that could have showed there that weren't. For example, here we've got a meeting logged. That's now showing here, and we get all the benefits of the filter drop down as well. And this allows you to also drill down really quickly into finding something in the activity feed. So one of the other updates to the activity feed is actually these communication groups. So if you're looking just for emails, you can just deselect all and then just click emails. You don't need to individually click through all the different email types. You can just select them as well. One other thing that we've done on the activity feeds is also introduced an automation email and automation SMS activity feed item. So these were already showing in the activity feed, but they were just showing as a sent email or a sent SMS item. So now, because they're differentiated and they're separate, it just makes it easier to see that. And also you can click through to the automation tracker and you can see where the automation is up to for that particular communication.
Yeah, we've had a lot of great feedback about the activity feed on the contact screen. Yep. And rolling it out here is obviously going to help people with listings. And we're also rolling it out across addresses, appraisals, everywhere else in the software as well over the coming weeks.
Yep. So also worth mentioning, we have the buttons up the top here as well, which replaces the activity feed, how it worked. So again, this uses the pop-up and it will pre-fill all the associations and any information. So just making it easy to log notes and inquiries and inspections and offers there too. Alrighty, so next up is the mobile app updates. So we've done a lot of mobile app updates. We've been putting a lot into the mobile app. There's a very big list of stuff that we've done, but these are kind of the bigger ticket items, you could say. So I will share my phone screen and we'll go through a couple of those now.
Mobile app is obviously a very, people are using more and more. People are on the road, they're logging in and doing things from their mobile app. And so our goal with the mobile app is to bring as much functionality as possible to people that are on the go. And the first item here, the buyers updates, the similar sort of stuff that we've done in the web application, we've brought to the mobile app as well. So filtering based on how interested people are, doing bulk communications from the mobile app, including a very big one is being able to send SMSs from your mobile phone plan instead of it sending through the virtual number or your own virtual number in using the Eagle SMS API. So, that's been a highly requested feature and I think people are really going to enjoy that.
Okay, so we're in the mobile app now and we're going to go to into a listing and we're going to go to the buyers tab, the top here. And as you can see, this screen has been updated. So we've got our list of buyers here. So this is very similar to the buyer screen, as you mentioned, Luke, on the web app. We get these little colored pills down the bottom under each contact so we can see their interest level and their contract status request and any feedback or offers and inspections. All that information goes on here. And up the top right, we've got this little filter option. So we can filter down. So we can just tap interested and maybe contract sent. So these are our most qualified buyers. In this case, we don't have any, but essentially you can see, you can really just filter down to get a list of buyers, that you want to communicate with, for example, and you can do that, very quickly and easy with this. So once you've got your filtered list of buyers, so let's maybe just do interested, then we can go ahead and tap on the photo of each contact, or we can also tap select all or select none, and that can allow us to bulk select all our contacts. And then at the top right, we have this little email icon and we have the SMS icon. So if I tap email, that will bring up this is just our normal send email function. And you can load in a template if you like, and away you go. You can send out this bulk email to all these buyers that you've filtered down. And likewise, you can do the same for SMS, and you can send an SMS out to them as well. And this is a good segue into one of the other features that we have released, and that's this from field on a send SMS form here. So if we tap on the from field, we get the option to send through our virtual number. So that's a virtual number through the software, and you can purchase your own virtual number as well if you want your own dedicated virtual number. You can also send from your own mobile phone number. So you can either do that through your phone plan, or you can do it through Eagle. So Eagle can send from your phone number, or you can actually choose which agent this SMS is going to send from. So it will essentially, where you're sending from, if people reply to the SMS, the replies are either going to go back to the number that it was sent from, or if it's the virtual SMS number, it will go back into Eagle. So all this behavior is exactly the same as how it works on the web app. We've just brought this functionality to the mobile app as well.
Makes it super easy to do things like auction reminders. I mean, if we can obviously automate that as well, but if you didn't want to automate that, you can now do that here. You know, follow-ups, sending out documents, doing that in bulk from the mobile app as well.
We have also introduced a simple and quick way to log a private inspection attendance that you haven't pre-scheduled. So sometimes when you're out and about and you've arranged a private inspection with someone, you haven't actually added the inspection time into the listing yet. And so you need to be able to log them in without an inspection actually existing in the software yet. So the way you can do that is if you go to the contact and that you're meeting with, and you just go into the contact and you do the plus icon down the bottom right, the plus menu, and we could do new inspection. And what this will do is it gives us the option to select the listing. So we'll just choose a listing here, and it will allow us to, when I hit save, it will create the private inspection time, and it will also check in this case, Katrina, to that private inspection as well. So it's doing two things in the one action, and you can set an interest level here too. And the way the inspection time will work is it will look for an existing inspection time. So if you have actually put it into the system, it will look for 1 hour prior and 1 hour after the current time for a private inspection. If one doesn't exist in the system, it will go ahead and create a private inspection time. And you can see it's choosing 12:30 here. It's going to go to the nearest 15-minute increment and create that inspection time. All right, so the last thing we're going to look at on the mobile app is recording preferences on a contact. So if I go back into Katrina here and I go over to the preferences tab, we can now record information about the type of property that Katrina is looking for. So this is the exact same thing as the preferences tab on the contact on the web app, but we now have the ability to see what she's looking for and also change, update these fields as well. So as we are having conversations with people, we can, enter new information in and keep this up to date so they're getting property alerts that are appropriate to what they're looking for. Okay, so now we're going to move on to integrations. So I've got a couple of new integrations that we'd like to share with you. These ones are pretty interesting. So the first one is Video Punch. So Video Punch provides automated videos with a professional voiceover. So the way that works is the data pushes from Eagle to Video Punch, and that includes your listing, the photos and everything. And Video Punch creates a video with those photos and also automatically records a professional voiceover. When I say automatically, someone is actually doing it, but it's all handled on their side. There's nothing extra that you need to do. And then they've actually built the integration in a way that that link to the video can come back into Eagle, which is really handy because that goes onto the listing. And then when that goes onto the listing, that obviously updates the property and that will push through to the portals. So it really simplifies if you want a video for your property using this integration. There's literally nothing extra that you need to do once it's all set up. That video gets created, it goes on and it pushes to portals all automatically.
Very cool integration.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting one. And drip flow is another one. So drip flow automatically create property videos and then post them to social media for you. So they work a little bit differently, but essentially same thing. Listing data goes to drip flow and then they create a property video and then that gets published to your social media sites, Facebook and presumably a few others. So there's some interesting ones that you can now plug into. And now we're going to have a look at some new filters. So as I'm sure you're all aware, the filters, the advanced filters, they've been getting better and better as time goes by, as we get feedback and new ideas on how these can be used. So the latest ones to go in, you can see we've got some for addresses for our owners and tenants. So we mentioned earlier the start and end dates on ownerships and tenancies. So now you can filter by those. So you can find ownerships that ended, on a certain time frame or started on a certain time frame. That might be useful with prospecting and also with last contacted and call outcome. Again, very useful with prospecting. On listings, you can now filter by lease date, and our contacts, you can return a list of contacts based on if they were a vendor, purchaser, landlord, or tenant, based on the sold and let dates of those listings. So getting a little bit complicated, but there's a few use cases where this is really handy. And then the call outcome as well on contacts. So you can see, this is really useful actually for if you are going through calling contacts from like a segment, for example, you can make a segment for contacts who you left a voicemail for and contacts that you're actually connected with. So obviously the people who you left a voicemail, you might want to try calling them again, whereas the connected ones, maybe not. So that allows you to kind of go down to that level. And also we're making range filters for numbers. So basically this allows you to do any field on anything where you can filter by a number, for example, a street number. You're going to be able to filter by a range as well. So you could do from 10 to 20 or something, or whatever it is. You can do it on price fields and postcode fields, and which is again pretty handy for, depending on the use case. But you're going to be able to do that across all appraisals and listings and addresses and contacts. So they're really good. So that's pretty much a quick wrap up of the stuff that we've released for the quarter. A lot of really good stuff in there. And then we want to have a bit of a chat about what's coming up. So maybe you might want to explain some of these, Luke.
We're focusing a lot on reporting, and we've got a new really cool business intelligence tool that's coming into the software that's going to allow a lot of flexibility around the different types of reports that you can create and different visualizations, and basically pull out the data that's in your database and interrogate it and get insights into it. So that's coming fairly early on in this quarter. It's very exciting. It's going to really help a lot of people.
Yeah.
On top of that, our other very big focus this quarter is upgrading the commission worksheet to allow more options and deductions and things like that, and also that flowing into agent ledgers and handling that side of things as well. So those are the key things happening early on in the quarter, and we're continuing to work on a lot of the stuff we spoke about today. So the buyer table, there's bulk actions and communications that's coming. So similar to how on the mobile app, you could select multiple contacts from the buyer table, so that you could email or SMS. You'll be able to do that as well, straight from the buyer table, as well as sorting and ordering the buyer table. With segments, we're taking what we've done so far with segments and putting that on steroids. So if you recall earlier on in the video, we made a segment for hot appraisals that we haven't contacted in the last 7 days. So with the new segment changes we're doing, what you'll be able to do is when someone dynamically joins that segment, you can have an automation go out based on that. So those hot appraisals that you haven't contacted to, you can automate an SMS that goes to those guys. So you don't even have to worry about that. That segment will be empty, because as soon as someone goes into that segment, they're going to get an SMS, and then they're going to come out of that segment. So there's going to be a lot of power that comes with joining the advanced filtering stuff we've been doing, and the segments, and joining that with our automation capability that we already have. And we'll be building a lot of content around that as well. So we'll have a lot of templates and ideas of how you can utilize this to have those touch points with your clients. Yeah. So that's very exciting. And also bringing segments to different areas of the software as well. So right now it's sitting in contacts. We'll also be bringing that out to addresses and obviously properties and everything else as well.
Yeah, segments working with automations is like extremely exciting. It's probably one of the best features that the system that we've kind of released, because it helps you find opportunities. It's like one of the problems or one of the challenges with the database is using it, like bubbling the opportunities to the top and identifying them and keeping in touch with people. It's a lot of work, and having your segment set up, and like you said, we're going to have a lot of content around it. We're going to be creating kind of a suite, I guess, of default segments, similar to how we have done with automations and other things. And it's just going to be awesome. It's going to be really good for helping for you to focus your time on talking to the right people based on the criteria that you've set on your segments. And it could be an automatic SMS that goes out, or it could be a task that gets created for you, or you could have an email that just gets sent to your inbox, however you want the automation to go. If you're familiar with automations, you'll know kind of how flexible they are. So yeah, I'm super pumped for
it's super exciting, because our users are just going to start receiving SMS responses to SMSs they didn't know they send, and it'll be like, yeah, we're ready to go now.
Yeah,
it's pretty exciting.
It's awesome. It's really cool. Yeah, can't wait for that. And then the mobile app.
So in the mobile app, bringing the bulk email and the SMS to other areas of the mobile app. So after an inspection, and also just when you're filtering through your contacts. We're obviously doing the caller ID for iOS as well. And we're bringing addresses into the mobile app. So a common use case is door knocking and recording that information on the address, and contracts as well. So bringing all the contract key dates and all the contract information into the mobile app as well. That one's very close. That should be out in the next few weeks.
Yeah. Awesome. So a lot of really cool stuff to come. And as always on these webinars, we like to just finish off to thank you for your feedback, and obviously to encourage, keep providing your feedback to us. It helps shape a lot of what we do, and really helps us to refine how things should work, and to make sure that features that we release for you guys work really well for you, and make life easier, and help you to do more and to do better. So really appreciate that. Is there anything else you need to add, Luke, or I think that's all for today?
Thank you, Peter. It's been great.
Yep. Too easy. All right. Thank you for your time, guys, as always. And we will see you at some point soon.